Hello friends, I present to you the 8th part of the book The Legend of Charisma, entitled Self-Criticism and Lack of Self-Confidence. Imagine that we have an important job interview ahead of us. The interview time is approaching. A voice inside you is busy reviewing memories of past failures, humiliations and setbacks. Your anxiety and stress increase, and if you don't know how to control the physical effects of your internal critical attacks, you will suffer. What we think about ourselves affects our performance more than anything else, and at the same time others. Let's analyze an incident that may have happened to many people. Your child says something in a conversation, and you immediately think, wow, only an idiot could say that. What happens to your face? You may be lost in thought for a few seconds. You may also have a delay in pronouncing words. As we said before, because we cannot control our body language, every worry in our minds appears on our faces. No matter how short the time of a negative conversation with yourself is, the people in front of you they'll notice that you can't hide it. And while you're looking at them and listening, there's a negative expression on your face. Naturally, they'll assume that this expression is a reaction to what they said, or did, or the way you're thinking about them. This means that negativity affects your body language, which in turn affects your charisma, and ultimately your performance. Self-criticism is one of the most common obstacles to good performance in any field. It's often called the silent killer, and many people suffer from it, but are too afraid to talk about it. Many people, from young and novice coaches to senior managers, have admitted to being in a negative state most of their working days. Think about how much energy the child of a CEO who spends 80 days a week fighting their inner critic must expend to handle their daily tasks well, because their inner critic's job is to constantly remind them of failure, or give them a depressing forecast for their projects and initiatives. They say I'm amazed at their strength and their success in their work. The next problem is lack of self-confidence. The simplest definition of it is lack of confidence in our abilities to achieve something. It means not believing in ourselves, and falling into the trap of worthlessness. We doubt our capacity to do it or our ability to learn how to do it. The worst thing we fear is that we lack the necessary skills or tools. We need certain things but we see them as unattainable, and that we are not good enough. One of the most obvious signs of lack of self-confidence is known as imposter syndrome, or this poster syndrome. Some capable people feel that they don't really know what their work is worth, and are just waiting for someone to call them an imposter. And the whole imposter syndrome was first identified by professors at Georgia State University in 1978. They found that more than 70% of people have experienced this feeling at some point. One of the producers of the Batman movies said that he usually feels this way when he goes to the stadium, and that he still a subconscious feeling tells me that a security guard is coming to throw me out. Right now, just the story of the world being such a feeling can help us neutralize the impact and reduce the power. It's interesting to know that this syndrome is the worst thing among famous actors. Ms. Caban says, when I talk about this at Harvard, Stanford, and MIT, the hall falls silent and you can even hear a pin drop. We see it when students realize that these feelings have a name, and that they are not alone in these feelings. Every year, new entrants to the Stanford Business Department are asked how many of you feel that the admissions committee made a mistake in selecting you. Every year, approximately 2/3 of the students in the class immediately raise their hands. How is it that Stanford students, some of the best and brightest people in the country, who have gained admission to the best universities, feel that they don't belong there, and don't deserve to be at the best universities? We have almost certainly seen the effects of anxiety, dissatisfaction, criticism, and we doubted ourselves. Where do these negative feelings come from? Negative feelings exist to push us to take action, to solve a problem, and escape a problematic situation.